a week away from Holy Week. It'll be Palm Sunday next Sunday, heading into Easter, a time of celebration for the Christian church. Tragically, also a time of persecution for some parts of the world, some members of the body of Christ. This can be a particularly dangerous time of the year. An organisation that does such tremendous work supporting those persecuted for their faith, Barnabas Aid. Stephanie Johnston joins us now. Kia ora, good morning.
Kia ora. Good to see you again. It's been a while.
It has been a while, actually, at least a week. Now,
At least a week. 7 days, it's a long time.
It is. Now, heading towards Easter, firstly, this is a tough time for people that are persecuted. This is a time when, as Christians, we come together to celebrate. It's Good Friday. There's lots of good things about Easter, but for many in the church, it is a tough time. It's a dangerous time.
Yeah, really dangerous. I mean, we've seen over the years that Easter is one of the most dangerous times for Christians living in countries where they are persecuted.
Yep.
So because it's a special day for us and we celebrate what Christ did on the cross for us, it's also a point of contention for other religious extremists who don't who really don't like Christians or
Yep.
what Christ did. And so there's a lot of attacks that happen. I'm praying this year that Christians will be safe and that they will be protected. And I'd like everybody to pray with me about that.
Yeah, no, certainly continue to pray for that. Last year wasn't as bad as previous years from memory, but certainly let's continue to pray that there won't be.
Still attacks, yeah. I think here's the thing about the Christians and the countries that we serve is that regardless of the danger that they face on Easter, knowing that there could be churches that are targeted, they still go to church. They still celebrate Easter and what Christ did for us, and nothing seems to hinder them from that. And so it's a really incredible thing to see our Christian brothers and sisters who celebrate Easter despite how hard it can be for them or the danger that they face in the midst of that. So an encouragement for us, really.
Yeah, an encouragement, but also perhaps a contrast. Here in New Zealand, we're going, should I go to church because there's a sale on in the garden centre, and I've been really had my eye on these things. And honestly, because there's so much freedom here, there's a little bit of take it for granted. But I mean, honestly, this is the story of Easter. This is this freedom that we have is what Christ died for, not freedom to go to the garden centre instead of going to church, but freedom in an eternal sense. This is what Christ has done. He has set us free. And I know a bit of a celebration that you guys are doing at Barnabas Aid connected with bonded labour in brick kilns in Pakistan.
Yeah. So I love that you highlighted that verse. It's one of my favorites in Galatians, where it basically says it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. And, Passover is all about celebrating that whole Exodus that we saw in the Israelites being let out of Egypt. And so there's the celebration that we have. And, sadly, slavery didn't end with the Egyptians, enslaving the Israelites. Slavery still continues today. And we see that firsthand with those who are in bonded labor, which is modern day slavery. These Christians who are already, the lowest of the low on the totem pole, so to speak. They don't make good wages. They get in these jobs where they're in the winter, it's so cold. In the summer, it's so hot. I think you and I have talked before about me being there, and it was 51 degrees.
Wow.
I mean, in the middle of the day, and just kids and families working, because not only is it the parents who are in slavery, that debt goes to generations. So you see kids as young as 8 working to pay off the debts that these Christians owe to their employers.
And I love the Passover reference, actually, because it's the same profession. The Israelites in Egypt were making bricks for Pharaoh. That's what they were complaining about, and they had to find their own straw. This is the same profession that these bonded labourers in Pakistan are doing. Huge piles of mud bricks, and then quite a dangerous process of firing these in huge kilns, and no end in sight. This isn't just somebody got themselves in debt. This bonded labour, as you say, it goes generationally, and these people through their own means and hard work, will never be set free because of the corruption in the system.
Yeah, the interest is so high that there's no way that they can pay it off. And sadly, they get into debt because of sicknesses a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, for example, one family that we were able to set free, Farik, he has two young boys, and one of the boys contracted polio.
Wow.
And so, in order to pay for help, they had to take out a loan. And then when polio ravaged this poor little boy's body, paralyzed him. Then they had medical bills and surgeries that needed to be done. And so they got
Yeah.
deeper and deeper and deeper into debt, into slavery. And those are the kind of stories. It's not they're not taking out loans for nothing. They're taking out these loans because they have to, and they already don't make a lot of money. They have 1,000 bricks a day that they have to make. So that in itself is just a tremendous amount of bricks to make in one day, and they get paid very little for that. And so you see kids who can't go to school because their parents can't afford it. You see kids who are at the brick kilns making bricks right beside their family members, and you see families who are just caught in this slavery that just doesn't seem to have an end.
And they can never make enough bricks to pay the debt or to pay even the interest on the debt. They are bonded in slavery. But as we celebrate Easter, we have been set free. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free.
Yeah.
Give us the good news on this one, Stephanie, because this is such an awful problem. But as we celebrate Easter, there's also much to celebrate. The work that you are doing, so many stories, so many photos of smiling faces of people who have been set free from this awful situation.
You know, last year we were able to set over 200 families free.
Wow.
You know, and this year we're planning on helping even more in bonded labor to be set free and really set free. I mean, we have really good programs in place to make sure they don't get back into bonded labor or into slavery. We're setting out of the 200 families last year that we were able to set free. I mean, think of that, the dignity that they have back, the number of children that can now go to school. And, you know, it's just the look on their faces before and after is so transformative.
Yeah.
And we're working with pastors and people on the ground who get to be a part of seeing and being a blessing to these families as well. So it's such a joy to see a family be set free, and for not a lot of money either. That's the thing. It's not really a lot of money to do that, to set these families free.
What are we talking? If somebody's listening at the moment, and hey, honestly, I can't think of anything better to do at Easter. I know there'll be people listening at the moment who have perhaps they're doing a Lenten fast, they're setting aside some money and going, okay, Lord, where do you want me to bless? What sort of money, on average, are we talking about to set a family free from slavery?
Well, it can be anywhere from $50 a month to up to $140 a month, and that will pay off a debt over 18 months. If you want to go for $50 a month, that pays off a debt for a family. That doesn't. It's not the size of the family; it's the amount of debt. So you have to think about it in that regard. It's the amount of debt that these families have. So if you're setting a family free for $50 a month, it could be a family of 10, you know, but their debt is that.
And the higher the level of debt, the more family members are drawn into this bonded labor because they're all trying to support each other. And it's like trying to run up a sand dune on a hot day. The faster you run, the more you slide, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's it. And this is something that we can do as Christians here. We are, you know, even though we're facing some kind of economic crisis here in our country, it's nowhere near what Christians are facing. And so, you know, for $50 a month, that's, that's a couple dinners out, really.
Yeah,
you think about it that way, or a few coffees, or, you know, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your poison is, really.
Honestly, I waste more than $50 a month on drive-through that I don't need, that doesn't taste that good. That's, full confession. So, hey, as we are getting towards Easter, I know you've got a particular focus on this. We haven't had time to get into all of the details, but there are a lot more information available at barnabasaid.org.nz. If people wanted to be a part of this, and hey, what a great thing to do for Easter. How about setting people free to celebrate Easter? It
is for freedom.
That sounds like a lot more fun than going, you know what, I'm just going to eat chocolate eggs on Easter Sunday until I feel like I shouldn't have. Take that money, invest it into setting a family free. Wonderful stuff.
Isn't that just great that we could do that? It's for
Yeah.
freedom that Christ has set us free.
Mm.
There's a great video you can watch on our YouTube channel if you just search Barnabas Stories. It's a story of Jennifer and her family. She's an 8-year-old Pakistani Christian girl who's been set free, and that story is just it's a must watch for sure. I think you're going to put the link on the website as well.
Yeah. We'll put a link under. Well, once this becomes a YouTube link, and honestly encourage people to check out the Barnabas Aid YouTube page, and definitely prayerfully consider supporting this particular work. It's got an Easter focus. If people wanted to find out more details, straight to the website. Stephanie, is it?
Straight to the website. Yeah.
barnabasaid.org.nz. Thank you so much for what you do. Thanks for joining us once again.
Thanks, Andrew. Morena.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.